It's a story about a fat person on a plane. I must read it. Airline forced to pay for psychotherapy for plus size model. No way. She's so fat she can't even take a selfie. Only half a selfie. A court in Brazil has ordered Qatar Airways, do I say Qatar or Qatar, to pay for psychotherapy for a plus size model they reportedly refused to board because she was too fat. Influencer, oh, I feel like I heard this story when it first came out. Influencer Julia Naimi, 38, accused the airline of discriminating against her due to her size. In a post, Juliana told her 167,000 Instagram followers that she was not allowed to board her flight because she too damn fat from Beirut to Doha on November 22nd. Her video about the alleged incident has gone viral. I want to play that video for you. Oh, wait. My Instagram is like. Oh, yeah, I can play it. Sweet. Let's see what this fatty has to say.
Eu estou aqui, estou deixando esse vídeo gravado. Hoje é dia 22 de novembro de 2022. Eu estou aqui na Qatar, comprada para ir para Doha e de Doha voltar para o Brasil. E simplesmente a aeromoça da Qatar disse que eu não posso.
Okay, I'm going to need a translator on this, but I think what she's saying is, man, I'm really fat and I just didn't think it was going to be a problem. I've lived my whole life. Everybody glamorizes my size. I never thought that I'd see any consequences. I've been told I'm big and beautiful, and now these airline people are telling me I can't get on the plane.
Posso embarcar porque eu sou muito gorda e eu
Muito gorda. Yeah, that means too big. That I know. I took Spanish till college. Too fat.
não tenho direito a essa passagem. Eu paguei $1.000 na minha passagem, R$6.000 na minha passagem. Estou eu, a minha mãe,
Six women were boarding something.
Meu sobrinho.
This is Portuguese, but it sounds like Spanish.
Nós pagamos $4.000 por essas passagens e agora ela simplesmente se nega a me dar as passagens e a me deixar embarcar no voo para Doha e de lá para São Paulo, porque eu sou gorda.
Too gourd.
Porque eu sou gorda e não posso embarcar. Agora, o que eu vou fazer?
Yeah, there should have been some kind of like when you buy your ticket, at least like, I don't know, make sure you're not above X weight and X height. But it does suck to buy a ticket, go to the airport, have all your shit with you, and then be like, you can't board, you're too fat. Like, they should have given her the heads up.
Eles estão negando o direito.
Aw, do I actually feel bad for her? A tiny bit. 10%. This is not Anna. Post wall Anna. Aw, that's B. Dabbler without the mask. Oh my god. She's allowed. Oh, you speak Portuguese? Hey, this is helpful. She's allowed on the plane, but has to pay extra for a seat. That's no big deal. That's what people do when they bring their cellos on board. She needs her own plane. Golly, that neck. She is saying she needs to get on keto. I thought I heard her say keto too. The airline should peel. She'll probably die before the case comes up. Oh, true though. Okay, where were we? Oh, look at her big head. Okay. She had been on holiday in Lebanon with her family and had arrived in the country via Air France without any problems. Look at me. I'm going to eat you. However, on the way home to Brazil via Doha, Juliana said a staffer told her she would have to purchase. Oh, okay. We were right. Purchase a more expensive first class seat if she wanted to board the flight. I mean, she'd be more comfortable, right? It also meant that she would miss her onward connection to Sao Paulo, where she lives. Juliana said Qatar Airways did not offer to refund her the $1,000 she had paid for her ticket. Instead, the influencer, she's an influencer, claimed the airline said she needed to buy a business class ticket for $3,000 so she could fit into the section's larger seats. I mean, can't she write it off as a business expense anyway? For a big fat business. Juliana took to social media to vent. They are denying my right to travel. No, they're not saying you can't travel. They're saying you too big. I'm desperate. Help me. They don't want me to board because I'm fat. That's hilarious. The influencer ended up staying in Lebanon with her mother while her sister and nephew returned home. big is she? What is she? $3? $3 bills? She told her followers, "What a shame for a company like Cutter to allow this type of discrimination against people. I'm fat, but I'm just like everyone else." No, you're not like everyone else, because if you were, all the plane seats would be fat sized and it wouldn't be an issue. And now a court in Sao Paulo has ordered Qatar Airways to pay for psychotherapy for Juliana so she can come to terms with the distress caused by the incident. Why doesn't Qatar pay for a gym membership? Then everyone's happy. Judge Renata Martins de Carvalho ruled on December 20th the airline must pay for psychiatric or psychological treatment for the influencer by a trusted professional. Wow. The treatment must consist of weekly therapy worth $78 for a period of at least 1 year. Wow, they get to pay for therapy for a year because of this, totaling $3,718 to be deposited into the plaintiff's bank account. Hmm. Judge Carvalho said the granting of urgent relief is a reasonable and proportionate measure to ensure that the stressful and traumatic event is overcome by Julia. You know, it would have been more traumatic watching her trying to put those armrests down in between her and whoever's sitting next. You know, it would have been traumatic whoever had to sit next to her. That would have been traumatic and stressful. She would have sloshed into the next seat. The influencer's lawyer, Eduardo Barbosa, described the ruling as a milestone in the fight against prejudice. This has nothing to do with prejudice. Juliana had spoken of the trauma of what she went through, telling Brazilian media, "It was like I wasn't a human being to them. I was a fat monster that couldn't get on board." Because you are. It was horrible. And you can lose weight, Juliana. This is not a death sentence here. Like, you can actually change your situation. It was horrible. I'd never imagined going through something like this ever. It hurts me now to remember how much I blamed myself. You should blame yourself. It's your fault, because I blame myself a lot. I even asked my mother for forgiveness several times. Your mom knows you're fat. I mean, she hasn't helped you by now. Like, she's kind of an enabler. I said, "Mom, forgive me because me being like this stopped you from going home." And she said it wasn't my fault because she's an enabler. Juliana and her mother were eventually able to return home on another flight without having to pay any more money after speaking to the Brazilian ambassador. That's how important you guys are. Wow. She told local media, "The ambassador called me, said he would help me. We stayed in an embassy home waiting for the decision. Then he called me on the 24th and said that he had spoken with the sorry for yawning. He had spoken with the president of Qatar Airways and that I was authorized to return paying only what I had paid and I wouldn't have to pay anything else, but also that they would have to grease me into the seats." We took a flight the same day and arrived in Brazil on the 25th. Qatar Airways said in a statement, "Qatar Airways treats all passengers with respect and dignity as long as you're at the right weight and in line with industry practices and similar to most airlines. Anyone who impedes upon the space of a fellow traveler and cannot secure their seatbelt or lower their armrests may be required to purchase an additional seat, both as a safety precaution and for the comfort and safety of passengers." The passenger in question at the Beirut airport was initially extremely rude and aggressive to check-in staff when one of her traveling party did not produce required PCR documentation for entry to Brazil. What? Interesting. So is this actually more so about her PCR test than about her size? Also, I side with the airline. They're probably trying to avoid you sloshing into there, struggling with the seatbelt, not being able to get the seatbelt on, sloshing back out, holding up the line, just trying to save everybody time and saving you embarrassment. But so her mom didn't bring the right PCR documentation for entry to Brazil because they would have said it's her, but they said it was someone in her traveling party. So maybe this was her mom's fuck up and she just made it about her being fat. Let's Let's continue. As a result, airport security was requested to intervene as staff and passengers were extremely concerned with their behavior. Airline obesity policies differ in degree and detail, but decree essentially that if you don't fit into a seat with an extension seat belt and the armrest down, you will be charged for 2 seats or removed from the plane. Yeah. Some airlines do their best to accommodate obese passengers by letting them stay underneath in the cargo area. No, by offering a second seat for free or refunding the advance purchase of a second seat if the flight isn't fully booked. It sounds like that the coach section was fully booked because that's why they were like, you have to move to business because they would just have let her take a second seat. Meanwhile, the government's Australian Institute of Health and Welfare states 67% of Australian, damn, 67% of Australian adults are overweight and 36% are obese. Is that more than America? That's a lot. Let's go to the comments. Traveling is a privilege, not a right. She should have just paid for an extra seat. It's not fair to the other people who have to sit in that row with her. Yes, fat people are so selfish because they don't know what it's like to get sloshed up against. I'm not saying this to be mean. I hope she is healthy. But becoming that size has consequences, like increased travel expenses. Yeah, you got somebody sweating next to you, stinking up the place. Okay, this is someone who's on the fat girl's side. Completely unfair to the airline. Not their fault when someone is physically and mathematically unable to fit into an airline seat. Okay, no, they're not on their side. You're a big girl. Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Come and get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.